Can you see the presentation, sir?
Yes, please. Nice.
How about now? I- Is it the presentation now or?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, okay. So, hello everyone. Good morning. I've chosen Singapore as our study case for our smart nation, since it's the easiest example you can find on the internet. So yeah, let's get started. Now, first of all, we want to know what a smart nation is, and not mistaken another set of examples as also smart nation. So smart nation can simply means that a nation or country is revolutionizing in a better way by using technologies to make human lives better and easier. And then smart nation can also uh, mean that an environment which consists of citizens, governments, industries, and business and other stuff is connected in one system and is uh, interacting, thus making the environment a better lives for each element in the environment. And then first, how is Singapore a smart nation? Uh, so basically, Singapore, from our definition of smart nation, has implemented technology to create a system for its citizens to connect with each others, which is like before, which is government and businesses. So basically, Singaporean government is using technology to connect to its citizens and give them the best home they need. Uh, and then this is just a quote that the prime minister is not only building a smart city, but a smart nation is the real importance of this project. So in the future, Singapore wanted to integrate everything into one, like let's say a smart health, smart agriculture, and smart education into one, we can say, application like that. And Singapore is planning to build its smart nation revolving around technology and Internet of Things, which basically is what a smart nation needed. So, yeah, Singapore now has data flowing across its country, and this data is very fast flowing and very important for building a better lives. Now, I want to talk about the features, which I think is the most important stuff you can learn from Singapore Smart Nation. So, national digital identity. We have also e-payments, and we have what they call as moments of life, and then go business and codex or core operations development environments and exchange, which we will see later on, and then smart nation sensor platform. And then they have this thing called smart and sustainable pungal, which I will not be talk about it because I don't think it's very applicable if we are to use in Indonesia. And then next is a smart urban mobility, which I will discuss. Now, let's see each what does each features do. So, national digital identity is basically you have a KTP, but then you make it digital, which is very cool. So SingPass Mobile is a again like a electronic identity card, right? And so the SingPass Mobile is an app in your phones, in Singaporeans' phones, mobile phones, and you can, verify any verification using your Face ID or even like face thumb sensor things. So you can verify things with your biometrics enabled login, which you can do it anywhere you wanted, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to scan your KTP again and stuff like that and stuff like that. And then they have also made SingPass for private sectors. So obviously, this private is, you can say like a private business and stuff like that. So also digital signing is also where you can, uh, what you call that? Uh, you can do like a tanda tangan on your phone, which is cool. So again, you don't have to meet the person to get your signature and stuff. And then they also made a My Info Business API, which provides a corporate and personal data to put and use. So, yeah, basically your business identity or the business's profile, you can put it there, and you can use it to put data or even use it. And then digital identity for cross-border transaction. So if you want to make a transaction outside your country, you can use it your SingPass mobile. And then e-payments. So e-payments is basically like a one in all payments. Uh, The Singaporeans one is called, if I'm not mistaken, is Pay Now. So they basically integrate all uh, ways of paying into one electronical paying, if that makes sense. So let's say we have a GoPay, but we also have a OFO, let's say like that. But they decided to unify them. So people don't need to have let's say two apps or even more apps to pay this and that and that. So basically they have just one app to pay everything, right? And then they also add a feature in e-payments or e-pay now. So it's what they call it, to pay and to get transaction from the governments, which is cool. So if you want to pay your pajak, right, you can pay with from your pay now account or let's say OFO 2.0 account like that. And then with this pay now, the governments are hoping that there will be no more checks. So as you see, checks is very dangerous. Other people can duplicate fake checks, and with the e-payments they have now, they're trying to avoid those scam of payments with checks, and then strengthen consumer protection and payment service, which is very, very, very important, right? If let's say your money suddenly decrease, it's a problem, right? So they strengthen your that's basically they strengthen your payments. Oops. And then moments of life. So services for families with young children, and then electronic birth registration for private hospitals, and then services for Singaporeans traveling and living overseas, and then personalized services to benefit more Singaporeans includes one service where you can report a municipal issue. So moments of life is basically features that they have where they make Singaporeans' environment better ones. So let's say you give birth, and then basically all the registrations is already done within the application, meaning you don't have to go through any papers to sign in your like children to your let's say kartu keluarga and stuff. And then they also have this called one service where you can report, let's say a trash can is uh, like overflowing trashes. Like there's this one particular area in Singapore that are filled with trashes, and then you can take a picture and then send it to the government, and the government will do respected action. I believe Jakarta has also done this with Ahok in it. Yeah, so basically it's similar. Now, Go Business is basically businesses in Singapore is very benefit from having a Go Business around in Singapore. So let's say your business needs some approval from the government, you can just do a grant or send a grant to the government, and the government will basically uh, s- do service for you, right? So you don't have to go to the office, the government's office, and then do some paper again. And so basically, it's done very, very fast within the application. As you can see, data from 2017, there are 19,000 grants serviced and produced 15% savings in business time, right? So those saving times is those times that you don't need to go to the office and do stuff, right? And then yeah, basically Go Business provides services for business on Go Business platform. For example, like advices from the government. So not only that you can apply grants, but you also get advices from the governments, which is very very needed if you are in a business section, right? And then not only that you get advice from the governments, but you can also give advice to the government, which is very yeah, basically is an open-minded business platform, right? Which is cool. Um, yeah, Codex is basically those governmental stuff where government system is transferred to the cloud. So no more papers, right? You can also save trees from that, which is cool. And then yeah, basically Codex is those government stuff, which is very hard to discuss about, but it's basically it's transferring your system, government system, to the cloud, right? So you can, so even businesses can access those files and read about the government and stuff. Now the SNSP is those sensors, right? So as we know, Singaporean is filled with tons of sensors, very very useful sensors, right? So they have like, it's for example the city level sensors, right? To to avoid flooding and stuff, and then they have CCTVs on the streets for several necessary needs, and then they also have a central tool to yeah basically sorry they also have a personal alert button, which you can find on elderly households, like let's say old people suddenly needs an emergency cases, and then let's say they got a heart attack, let's say, and then they just push a personal alert button, and then respective units will come to their households, which is life-saving technological stuff happening, right? So it's pretty cool. So basically, SNSP is a central tool to facilitate sensor deployment, right? And then next we have lastly is smart urban mobility. It's basically making transport a faster and reliable one, right? We have those hands-free ticketing technology. So it's pretty similar to what's it called ETOL or e-money stuff, but they, if you know, OBU is like the onboard unit. So yeah, they use those instead. You don't need to yeah, put out the card uh, and then let the machine scan again. No, you just drive through and it will automatically scans for you, which is cool. So you don't have to stop uh, to pay. And then this one is a big project, which is autonomous buses and shuttles, so no more drivers. And then smart traffic light control system. So, which I believe is using CCTVs to record how many volumes are there in each intersection of the traffic light, and decided the time for each intersection. So people, yeah, it's basically equality, right? So with those features mentions, what benefits do they bring to Singapore, right? Now, of course, they don't do that. They don't do all those stuff just for fun, right? But there's a benefit to it. So, the benefits are data from all to all. So, data sets by public agencies have been made available and accessible to the public such that people can contribute and collaborate to create a better smart nation. So let's say, so what those features do to Singapore is basically these all datas, right, are made available to the citizens. Not only available, but accessible to the public or citizens. And those citizens can get creative with these data and invent something new, right? Not only to invent something new, but these data makes a transparent system, a transparent governmental system, which the citizens now then with these data can trust the government, which is a very very important aspect from a country, right? The most important aspect for a country is for its citizens to trust the governmental system. And how do we do that? Which is, well, make the data available and accessible to the public, right? And the public can cross check those data and see whether it's correct or not. If it's not correct, they file a petition and stuff like that. And then not only that, but with the immense technology that Singapore has been using, it made the country a living laboratories, right? Like I said, these citizens can create something new, right? They can invent something new with these data, right? Making it a living laboratories, right? Not only citizens, right? Many companies, like let's say Tokopedia, seeing Singapore with such immense technology, they want to invest, or Tokopedia will, let's say, build an office there to invent something new with their technology, right? So it's making a Singapore a living laboratory, right? Which is very, very insane, insanely cool, right? And then cybersecurity and data privacy. So with these all data, right, Singapore is focused, right? Let's say when you want to make something new, uh, some let's say from a stone age lives into a technological lives, what you want to focus on first is cybersecurity, right? You want to make sure that these citizens data is safe and sound, right? So making the country a very very safe country. So with more innovations are being built invisibly cyber, people have begun to prioritize data security and privacy more and more, thus making a secure ecosystem for the country. And then, last but not least, Singapore has also made a lesson, like a free tutorial lessons for children, and then for young adults, and then for seniors, right? So, with that, the citizens are now up to date with the state of the art technology stuff. Right? They are, so even a baby is up to date with what a technology is. It's what they're doing, right? So promoting the learning of coding and computational skills by the government to and ensures that all citizens benefit regarding the age of the age or occupation. Now, what can we learn from Singapore? Why can Indonesia be one of the smart nation nowadays, right? Well, imagining Indonesia being a smart nation is not impossible. In fact, if Indonesia is a smart nation, then without doubt, Indonesia is one of the richest country in the world. Why is that so? Well, Indonesia has various ethnic groups as well as vast islands and thousands of islands. Sorry, vast land and thousands of islands. So these itself create a problem. And not to say that Singapore is a very small country. However, comparing Singapore to Indonesia is a massive comparison. Comparing in a sense of how much land do each country has and how much ethnics do each country has. I'll get that in a point. Now since Indonesia is still a developing country, Indonesia's economy hasn't been able to afford modern infrastructures to build an interconnected country that has islands separated. So what should we do? So Indonesia has like thousands of islands separated, right? What I'm trying to say here is Singapore is basically one or two islands and is a very and in a land size, it's a very small country, right? A land wise. However, Indonesia is a very big country, and let's be honest, our economy isn't that great yet, right? So building infrastructures to create a cyber system in Indonesia is not as easy as it sounds, right? The money is not there yet, right? So this is one of the problem in Indonesia. Is that we have a very wide land, but we're not to make the land is their fault. But okay. So step by step, obviously. So what Indonesia needs to do is build a smart city for huge cities, like in Jakarta, which is I'd say is already a smart city. However, here, let's say in DIY and Jogja is not a smart city yet, right? So with those succeeded, uh, after building a smart city is done, then we built a smart town and then into smart village, right? And these combined can make a smart nation, right? So I believe that Indonesia will be there, will be a smart nation, and if, like I said, Indonesia is one of the is a smart nation, then Indonesia is one of the richest country in the world, no doubt, because our land is very wide, very huge, and if we are able to build our country interconnected cyberly, meaning we have infrastructures to support those, and building an infrastructure is not cheap, so we'll be one of the richest country in the world, no doubt. So that's what we can learn from Singapore as a smart nation to Indonesia, and that's the end of my presentation. Thank you. Is there any question or any comment?
Okay, thank you very much for Satya, yeah, Satya for the presentation. Yes, I agree. We should give applause for the presentation. Okay, so
Thank you, sir.
my question is about one thing. How about if you see you mentioned about the Indonesian condition, yeah. So if we have, for example, want to move like follow the Singapore way, for example. So what do you think? This is what actually one point that we need to do first, yeah. So for go there, yeah. Based on your presentation, of course.
Uh, I think Indonesia is we have if I'm not mistaken 34 cities, right? 34 huge cities. Meanwhile, Singapore has only one or two huge cities. So this itself is a massive, huge comparison. And meaning if we can all connect those 34 huge cities, then I'd consider ourselves as a smart nation. I'd consider Indonesia as a smart nation. So basically, what we need to do is, well, making these 34 huge cities, right, being a smart cities. And I believe after you succeeded being building a smart cities, you make them interconnected, and then from a smart cities, you can go into smaller areas like a smart town, smart village, right? And then you connect these all into one system, and you get a smart nation like that, sir.
Okay, that one a good point that you can get up the idea. Yeah. So thank you for your answer, Satya. So I think this is the challenge today. Yeah. So we already have more than 30 city that already initiate and implement a smart city, but the big picture and then the direction to be the smart nation need to be researched and need to be designed. Yeah, because we are maybe one things that we can learn from Singapore is like one smart region, one smart province. Yeah, in one place. But in Indonesia, we have a lot of islands and we have a lot of city. So we need to be in like interconnected smart city, and then we will have some smart nation. But I think that's still discoverable, and so we need to explore more about it. Yeah. But let's go to the next student to see. Maybe we have some idea, another idea that we can learn together. So, yeah. Thank you, Satya, for the presentation.
Yes, sir.
And,
Thank you.
and then and maybe after Satya, anyone want to voluntarily present? Adri Wicaksono?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
But before I want to tell that I cannot defeat Mr. Satya's perfection because mine
Try.
is very simple because it just covers like I get the idea from a book actually. I'll share the link later for the book. So I'll be covering Taiwan for this presentation. So as we know about Taiwan, the the birthplace of ASUS, MediaTek, Acer, TSMC, HTC, and so on. It's just countless. Even the people coming from there, like Lisa Su, CEO of AMD, Jensen Huang, CEO of Nvidia, and many great people from Taiwan. So it will be no surprise that Taiwan is one of the greatest tech leading nation in the entire world. So in this presentation, I'll be covering smart government, agriculture, healthcare, education, transportation, traffic, and energy. But I won't be covering this like before. I'll be just present to you all what I have read in the book. There's like a Taiwan embassy for Thailand, kind of agreement on how to develop Thailand and Taiwan even further. So starting from the smart government, for each part, I'll be if there is like a nationwide system and also like city only system, I'll be covering them in one topic. So for example, smart government, I believe covering only the from the National Development Council, because the other three would be like a bit very similar to the nationwide. So for the smart government in Taiwan, there is like DG Plus. It is a system where the people from Taiwan can participate in open government, like for pemilu and many stuff. And there's also T Road. I think T Road here it is like open data, just like before. So you can you can transfer data with encryption, of course, and there is also EID to be used in the T road. Just like before in Singapore, there's like a saying KTP. So in Taiwan, it is called EID. And there's also open data, just like in the DG Plus, with the data of transportation, tourism, travel, and weather observation. And NGIS, this is for national land planning, electronic maps, and so on. But there is also smart building, which is kind of similar. So there is like a thin line within each section, but the idea is that it has to be open. It has to be it has the ability to be accessed by the majority of people of Taiwan. So I guess there's that. And there's also smart agriculture. So it doesn't cover all industries. Originally selected are orchids, seedlings, paddies, wheat, maybe corns, mushroom rice, offshore fishery, aquaculture. Aquaculture versus offshore fishery. Aquaculture is more like into crustaceans like prawns, lobsters, maybe, I don't know, poultry and dairy. And also it uses IoTs, big data analysis, and intelligent devices, assets, sensors, actuators to automate the whole production process. And there's a smart healthcare. So for smart healthcare, basically the idea is that it is a patient-centered medical system. So anyone can participate in the development now of the medical advancement in the Taiwanese health industry. Not only for doctors and medical researchers, but also academics. Academics can participate in the health advancement in Taiwan, and also they use digital cloud tools. Doesn't need to be from the Taiwanese government. Can be third party, which is able to send and retrieve various reports, CT scans, MRIs, ultrasounds, gastroscopies, you name it, it's there. And also for smart education now, smart education is, I don't think this is like a very huge achievement, because we have like a Khan Academy. Like, so there's this Cook Cloud. It's very similar to Khan Academy, but I cannot seem to be able to access it because maybe a geo restriction or something. But if you want to search it, it's a Cook Cloud. I think it's like Khan Academy, and there's Omni Smart Education. So those futuristic classrooms that we've seen like 5 years ago, using iPads for learning process, and maybe a huge tablets. Touchscreen whiteboards for teaching the class. So engaging the whole class environment. And also in Taoyuan, it does that. And they said that it helps with their English fluency, because like computer programs uses English or C++, Python uses in range. Like it kind of helps with their English. So there's the smart transportation. Now this, so spoiler alert, this will be like UGM. We have like a free bike rental system, right? So yeah, there's this U-Bike. It's a bike renting service with 400 stations and 13,000 bikes nationwide. Oh, no, not nationwide, Taipei City. And there is also from Tainan City. And there is also smart bus services. It uses GPS system to from all the buses, and with that we can get the ETA for each passenger through an app. And there's this MRT, smart train controls and management system. So it is automated, and from the brochure, it is said that there's a Wi-Fi connection, but I mean, just like our KRL, we also have free Wi-Fi. So this is the U bike. Each bike has a GPS, so the what do you call the officers, the person in charge of those bikes can retrieve those bikes where it is missing. And also, if you don't know about Giant is like a popular bike manufacturer. It is from Taiwan, so it is no surprise that Giant would sponsor this kind of facility. And in Tainan city, there is a T-bike similar to U-bike, and there is not much else. Maybe like 4G buses. It uses 4G to provide internet connection. So passengers who usually drive private vehicles would get hooked up with the free internet connection, because like, I mean, MediaTek, TSMC, HTC, they're very strong in the mobile department. And also there's smart traffic. I mean, this is to be expected, right? CCTV, of course, e-tech. I think this is like what Jakarta was about to implement during the Ahok governance. Where like in each vehicle there will be tagging, so that when you pass a certain road or a certain gate, you get told you have to pay a certain amount of price to go through a certain place. And also VD, I don't really get what VD is, but yeah, just put it there. It's in the brochure. And there's also for the pedestrians, there is sensors. So when pedestrians are close to some danger intersections, there will be like a board, like a billboard saying that warning, please be mindful of your surroundings, and so on. And there's also smart parking. This is actually pretty simple, but I don't know why we haven't implemented this yet. I mean, in the hyper malls like Grand Indonesia, maybe there's like a light, but there's actually like the count, right? How many free parking slots are available. But I mean, if you can show more data, like where are those free parking slots are, it will be much more appreciable. So there's that. Also in smart energy, so they actually subsidize rooftop solar panels, and I mean, it's actually pretty good. So compared from 2012 to 2013, 2018, there's like 60 times the power generated from solar, just because of the subsidizing. I mean, like they manufacture a lot of stuff, so they can easily cut costs. This is one of the major advantage for Taiwan, because they made a lot of things, so production costs wouldn't be much of a burden for them. So it is easy to accomplish like various technological advancement for them, which I'm kind of envious about comparing to Indonesia. So there's that. And there's like the other smart manufacturing, building, social housing. So manufacturing, this will be like maybe the automation of production system. Smart building, this is like the IoT inside houses. So like smart home, like the burglars, CCTV system, or kidnapping, or yeah, kind of like that. And smart social housing. So when we're imagining social housing, so we'll be like, oh, those kind of like Americans TV shows where there's like a very poor people in the social houses. But here, Taiwan want to like remove that. How they see social housing, so they provide a technological advancement. They added IoT to the whole system. They provided very good healthcare. Taiwan is one of the greatest healthcare, one of the greatest nation with the greatest healthcare in the world, because they're cheap. They're great. They're just very good. So I guess that's about it from me. Is there any question?
Okay, thank you, Adri. I think this also comprehensive, and then we have a lot of big picture in here. Not only big picture, but also a detailed picture about the implementation in several, not only the segment on the services here, but also the segment on the infrastructure like the smart energy and so on in Taiwan. And I think, yeah, Taiwan is also one of the country that more advanced on the implementation of the smart nation. I have some, not question actually, but I want to have your comment about some issue. So in Taiwan, we know that they like a country that very advanced on the technology and also in the manufacturing of the technology itself. Yeah. So what do you think? What the advantage of the nation that have some by default he already have the good manufacture on technology, for example. So Taiwan can fit the development of technology for their smart nation. So it is matter or not. So and we reflect to Indonesia. What do you think? Indonesia is good in what case on the technology production, for example. So we can do like Taiwan way, for example. What do you think, Adri?
Okay, so what I think about Indonesia is maybe we're not really ready hardware wise, because like comparing to so say phone, we have what do you call phone in English? Advan, yeah, we have Advan. But like the problem with Advan is that people in Indonesia sees that, oh, Advan Indonesian phone, it has to be cheap, right? But dude, when you're dealing with a hardware industry, you're not dealing with just one nation. Like, how would you source the mobile chip? They use this like it's not even MediaTek. I think it's like a Chinese made silicon for their processor, and also they need to chip out other aspects as well, so they would fit into the Indonesian market, which I kind of hated. So yeah, there's that mindset of Indonesian hardware needs to be cheap. Hardware wise, we're actually pretty good. I mean, like we have Tokopedia, we have like various services like Gojek. Gojek is from Indonesia, Grab is I believe from Singapore, and also like many software solutions and stuff. But hardware, it will be a challenge for us, considering the mindset that it needs to be cheap.
And what do you think about? I know Indonesia have actually one. I say now still advantages here. Uh, we know we consume a lot of technology. When we for example, the citizen of Indonesia are very hungry when they know that there is a new product release. For example, it is good enough or not for smart nation. What do you think?
So I think the breakthrough
Mm-hmm.
are always great, because who doesn't love breakthroughs, right? I mean, SpaceX and Tesla are both breakthroughs.
Okay.
So as long as we don't lose those people, it will be great. A very a great aspect to our technological advancement. But again, I think we'll be relying on Taiwan and China for our technological advancement for the next 2 decades, because like we haven't reached that manufacturer prowess yet. And yeah, I guess we can do the software at least.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Adri, for your answer, your feedback, and your response. It's good starting. I think I'm very happy because the two first presentation not only just talk about some of technical things, but also the most important thing is you place the concept of smart nation in the right place. That's cool thing, I think. Also, thank you, Adri and Satya, for the presentation. Yeah. Okay.
I have a question for
Okay.
Adri.
Go please. It's nice.
So, like you said about Indonesian phones, which is at fun. My question Sorry, my interest has shown towards the smart nation, right? So since you mentioned that Indonesia's phone is not as you can say good as other phones out there in the market, if Indonesia is to build a smart nation, are you saying that you choose Indonesia to build its smart nation? Uh, how you say it? By using other products. Let's say uh, you need Indonesia need a let's say an infrastructure, right, from let's say Samsung, like that. Or are you saying that Indonesia needs to build a smart nation by its own hand? So they built everything from the scratch to the end uh, from Indonesia itself. Uh, is my question clear?
Yes, it's very clear.
Okay.
I think I should answer the question right away to cut the time. So as I said before, I do think that we would rely on Taiwan and Chinese manufacturing for the next 2 decades. So, I mean, being able to manufacture from scratch in house is I will be more efficient compared to when we are importing hardwares overseas. So there is that advantage for Taiwan and maybe China and maybe America, USA. But I mean, if we can do it ourselves, I mean, we have the capability. I mean, we have manufactured cars, we have manufactured bikes, a lot of bikes. I mean, we have in Batam, we produce Asus phones, Zen phones, and even did Samsung actually. Samsung was Asus and Realme and Xiaomi, of course. Yeah, I mean we have the production capability, but it's just the how people's mindset that because Advan, what I said about Advan needs to be cheap, so I mean Advan has to cheap out because that's what the market is asking. So yeah, there's a it's good to manufacture in house, but I think we would still need to rely on other nations for now.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's nice. Okay. Okay, let's go to other students. Yeah, I think Satya already present and then Adri also is done. How about Irfan? Are you ready? Hello?
Not yet, sir.
Why not yet?
Sorry, sir. I think I'll go.
Okay, Lukman, nice. Thank you, Lukman. Lukman Bayu. Okay.
Okay. So to begin with, I think I haven't done my presentation just like Adri and Rifki. So